Hey, it's that time of week. That means it's time to deploy. Fridays, of course, best time to deploy. I'm joined as always by Jim Pelletier. Jim, how was your week?
Yeah, week was really good. Week was really good. Had some fun playing around with some proof of concepts and stuff, and yeah, had a great time. How was your week?
Anything you can reveal?
Yeah. I think we've got some stuff to show later on in the show
Awesome.
around
I
that
like
kind of
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Cool. We've been busy here as always at Octopus Deploy. Lots of stuff happening, so we might as well get into it. So I will go ahead and share my screen. So we've been doing a lot on the webinar side. In fact, we hosted one earlier today. The recording for that is now available. But if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, I highly encourage you to go check out our webinars website, which is at octopus.com/webinars. There you'll find three upcoming webinars, one featuring a partner of ours, DevTools. This is entitled Strategies for an Efficient Release Pipeline. So if you're at all curious, you can register for that one. I will be hosting the Octopus 101 on December 7th, and that will feature basically, the taxonomy of our domain model, projects, release pipelines, deployments, spaces, whatever, all that stuff. It's basically a good way to kick the tires, so to speak. And then wrapping things up for a very busy year is Adam, the one and only, who will be doing a session entitled Solving Microservice Orchestration Pain with Octopus Deploy. So that is on the 14th. So make sure to check these out. And as always, whenever we do a webinar, we post a recording. So as I said earlier today, we hosted a webinar. We also hosted a webinar earlier this week with one of our partners, Bion, and they did a session entitled Achieve Faster Time to Market with Bion Consulting and Octopus Deploy. And then the one we did earlier today was a continuation of one we did around Kubernetes, deploying to Kubernetes at scale with Octopus. And this is part two of the two-part series. This was started by Matt Casperson, and then Kit and Nick did a follow-up. So both of those are now available up on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. It's up on YouTube. Octopus Deploy is the channel name. You'll see all our videos there, including our videos from Shipped. If you're all curious, you can also check out a video that Bob and I did recently featuring the latest and greatest of 2023.4. So this was a definitely kick the tires sort of video that Bob and I did. We went through all the feature lists and just showed folks how 2023.4 is shaping up and what's new and all that sort of stuff. So this is very meta, looking at myself, watching, myself present almost the same, looking exactly the same almost. I think I shaved between the few days that I did this. But yeah, if you're at all curious about getting a sense of what's the latest and greatest in 2023.4, you can check out that video. That's up on our YouTube page. And in addition to that, we also have another video, which is available there, which is the webinar that I spoke of. So the webinar here, which was done by Kit and Nick, deploying to Kubernetes at scale. They talk about Helm, they talk about Customize, they talk about a whole bunch of other things. So if you're all curious about what that looks like in Octopus, you can check out our YouTube channel. The video is now at the top of the page there. It will also be in the playlist, which is our webinars playlist. And these and other videos are published all the time. We publish roughly I would say 3 or 4 videos every week. So as an example, this is the video that we did with Bion. This was Adam who helped host this, and this was a video that we did with them. So lots and lots of videos. There's no shortage of content that we're willing to produce, including major events like Shipped, etc. So check out that at our YouTube channel at Octopus Deploy. Awesome. All right. So we have a new blog post. Eddie has written about the deprecating of the Octo CLI. So I need to provide some context here. Now, Jim, I know you're upset by this news, but it's a good news story. Okay, I know for some folks it might be upsetting, but anyway,
I'm actually excited. Yeah.
I know. I kind of got mentioned here. So the reason why is because back in the day, I was helping on the integration side, and part of our mandate was to support the CLI, etc. One of the things that we did way back when was we came up with a new version of the CLI because the CLI itself was looking a little bit crusty. So we built a new version of it built on Go, and it eliminated all the dependencies that you would have in a .NET-based version of the .NET CLI, or sorry, the CLI that we had. And we built it on Go, and we got it to go. It was a heck of a lot smaller. It was a heck of a lot faster, and we also added capabilities to the new CLI. Now, a CLI is a CLI, but we added some other capabilities such as what we call interactive mode. and it allows you to ask questions, and you can iterate through features. The reason why we did this was because when you would use the old CLI, if you didn't get the command written just right, it would drop to the floor and say, error, I don't know what you mean. So if you don't provide any parameters, we'll kick you into this mode where you can just, through a question answer sort of user interface, will get you to the right place. And at the end of it, we will show you the command that you just did. And so if you want to use it in an automation context, you can do so. So for these and many other reasons, we decided to basically reimagine the CLI. Well, fast forward to today, we are now deprecating the old one. And so that's what Eddie's talking about in this article here. Now, I know for a lot of folks, this is, a lot of folks have built up a lot of scar tissue with the old CLI, and that's fine. I understand that. However, it is time to move on. And so we expect the new CLI, if you're moved to the new CLI, you're going to love it. Like, feature for feature, it vastly exceeds what's in the old one. And it also has additional capabilities. So there's really no reason why you shouldn't jump to the new CLI, because it is really, really good. So we have a bunch of stuff that we put in there. And so, just please move off of it. And so we haven't set a hard date to remove the old CLI, but we are deprecating it. And so we're putting some surface deprecation warnings to let folks know that, you're going to have a long runway here, but it's time to move on to the new one. And so that's kind of what this article talks to. Now, Jim, I know you're really upset by this.
I love it. I think the experience with the new one's great.
All right.
I wish more things.
I'll take that as an endorsement. Yeah. I'll take that as an endorsement. 100%. I love it.
100%. I think people are going to love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, actually, I can just do a quick demo here. Actually, let's do it. So I'll just show you a quick demo of what this looks like. So this is the terminal here, and when you run it, it's called Octopus, not Octo. And of course, you got to have the ASCII art in there, right? So that's pretty nice. And you can see we have a bunch of commands that you can run. So when you run a command, so let's say, for example, if I'm looking at accounts, we have spell checking in there as well. We also give you a list of, so these are the operations that you can do. So I can say, list the accounts that I have, and I'm not authorized, so I haven't set this up with an API key, but I can set that up easily. But if I wanted to, I could also take a look at my configs. So I've got a config system built underneath this as well. So I'm connecting to an instance that I have. You can run a bunch of commands as well. We have a built-in spell check. We also have the ability, if you run this command, you can actually pipe the output. So we actually emit JSON, and you can pipe that and use it for other subcommands. And so we're utilizing tools like JQ, so you could actually pipe that out if you wanted to. So there's lots of stuff you can do with it. Anyways, that's a very quick and dirty demo of the CLI. Very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to miss the old one. Anyways, so yeah, that's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, the YouTube channel I mentioned before, great stuff. I did want to mention briefly here some of the work that we've been doing recently. Jim, you want to talk about this, right? So concurrent deployments over time. What is this? What is this graph here? These are all tombstones by the look of it.
This is the fun I was alluding at before. So everyone knows at the moment, most people probably know that you set a task cap basically for how many concurrent deployments you can run, or how many concurrent tasks, of which deployments are a task. And I think most of the time in the cloud at the moment, that tops out at around 160. It's the sort of the maximum number of concurrent deployments we support. So the work we're doing is on a prototype to really increase that. So we did some great work over these last few months to build a prototype that we recently tested. And disclaimer, of course, it is a prototype. Your mileage may vary, and everything's still in process. But this is it running at basically 1,000 concurrent deployments in parallel, which was really cool to see. You can see there's some strange little dips in there, and that's something we're still working on. But yeah, really great results out of what we're doing.
Must be spinning. That must be spinning down and cleaning up resources, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's so we've built a new subsystem that basically can run these deployments faster. But of course, it needs to integrate with all the old subsystems as well.
Oh,
it seems like those two worlds, we're still smoothing the path to make sure that it all happens. That they don't block each other, basically. So yeah.
So, a question: what kind of system were we running this on? Was it pretty beefy?
So this is 2 instances running in our cloud. So 2 of our larger cloud instances. I can't remember what size they actually are. Our cloud platform team does a really great job of providing this really easy to use platform. And I just go, give me 2 big ones. Um, I do have to
That's awesome.
work out how much it's going to cost first and worry
Yeah,
about
yeah,
all of that. But I just say, give me two big ones.
yeah.
This is two big
That's
ones.
awesome.
I think that's an
Yep.
official
Two big ones.
Azure.
Name the server. Two big
Yeah,
ones. Awesome.
yeah,
That's great. So for customers and for folks who are watching this video, if you're using Octopus, this means that hopefully we are on the path to massive concurrent deployments over time for you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, mileage may vary, testing only, not committed to this, but we wanted to share this because we think this is really cool. And I love the fact that we're making some progress in this space. And Jim, this is obviously your world, so wanted
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure you mention that.
There
I
is
even
an
did know. I even made an homage to this. I decided to fire up ChatGPT, and there we go. We got the happy developer doing 1,000 concurrent deployments, not deployments,
improvements.
deployments. So yeah, there you go.
Is that like, you know how usually it generates too many fingers, and this time there's too many oohs in
Too
the
many
deployment.
oohs. Yeah, and then you got happy completed. But you get the idea. This is 1,000 concurrent deployments. He looks really happy. Like he's like, yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah, man.
Awesome.
If anyone,
The other thing,
is super excited about, running large numbers of concurrent deployments, I wish I had a way to reach out and contact me. I mean, you can probably contact us through Twitter or something. We're looking to talk
yeah.
to people who want to do this,
Oh, okay.
and people who can get involved early. So if this is really pressing your buttons, reach out to us.
Yep. So few ways you can connect with us. So if you go to octopus.com and over on the right-hand side, this is one of the ways in which you can connect with us. So we have our contact us here. That's one way to connect. The other way is through the community. So we have a Slack channel that you can join. You can join our Slack there if you want and get in touch with us that way. There's lots of ways in which you can connect with us. So feel free to leverage that going forward. And then finally, wrapping up on some kind of wins that we have going on here. So lead time to changes. This is an internal graph that we kind of just grabbed. We think this speaks really, really nicely. So what is this showing here? We've got a bunch of charts and graphs and lines.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we talk a lot about DORA metrics and how Octopus improve your deployment stories. And this is something that we've done recently. I mean, we've got, when we deploy Octopus deploy, we deal with all of the same things. So we have a complicated, not a complicated, but we have a very careful way of rolling Octopus out to a staged releases, and in order to reduce the impact of any problems and test for changes and all that sort of stuff. And what we found though is that the way we had it configured was actually decreasing the time to detect defects, and increasing the time it took to get value out to our customers. So we made a few changes over the course of the last part of this year. And I think if you squint and look right into that graph, I think the time it takes to deploy something out went from like 10 days on average at the end there, right down to about maybe 3 or something like that, maybe 5 on that graph. But you can see it's all over the place to start with, and then straight down and stabilizing. So we were really happy with what we did, and I just wanted to share that we go through all of the same thinking that all of you do when it comes to how do we improve those deployment metrics.
They're not deployments; they're deployments. Come on,
deployments. I think I almost said that by accident, didn't I?
This is how we want all of our customers to look when they're deploying with Octopus. So there you go. hopefully we won't get spelling mistakes on our UI either. So
that
that's
guy
awesome.
like eyes are all pupils too, by the way. Maybe
yes, I know.
He's
he's got a very very scary look on his face. Anyways, awesome stuff. Moving on to just a couple of news items that are relevant to folks who use Octopus. This was an announcement by Microsoft. Richard Lander, who he's actually a Canadian. I know him. He's part of the .NET team. They were working with a partner called Canonical, and they came up with a set of images, container images for .NET. And what these are, chiseled containers around .NET allow you to execute against very lean and mean deployment images for .NET workloads. And so if you're at all curious, these are based on Ubuntu containers, and they have the least amount possible necessary for executing those workloads. And the reason why you do this is for a number of reasons. Primarily are smaller images obviously help with download times and deployment times. And you're standing up infrastructure really fast, Kubernetes, for example, and you want those images to get downloaded and utilized quickly, that's one. The other thing is obviously limiting your attack surface. So you have less dependencies, less libraries, etc., in the image itself, then that helps minimize the amount of attack surface that a attacker could take advantage of. So these containers are now utilized, and this is integrated also in the .NET CLI as well. So you don't need the Docker CLI as well to utilize these things anymore going forward. So lots of great stuff. This was talked about in great deal at .NET Conf. .NET Conf, by the way, we were one of the sponsors, and that recently wrapped up. So there you go. Another announcement that I just saw that hit the wire, PowerShell 7.4 is now available. This uses .NET 8. So .NET 8 is something that we're also looking at internally at Octopus. I don't think that's any secret. Most people are looking at .NET right now, .NET 8. And so this is based on .NET 8. And it's a minor update, but it's on the road towards, obviously, PowerShell 8, which will be out at some point, I guess, or PowerShell whatever. But anyways, so there's lots of little updates there and worth checking out. So those are some of the updates that we wanted to share. And obviously, if you've stumbled upon this video for the first time, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We do this every week. And until next time, have a happy deployment. Happy deployments, everyone out there. That's right, Deplooments. So we'll see you next week on Deploy on Friday. Take care.